Here's our Christmas message, Buy Local, Buy Suffolk.
We've had such a great time talking to some amazingly talented people across the county, all of whom would love to see you this Christmas.
So without further ado, let's start our Suffolk Christmas. Welcome to our special Christmas editions of the Suffolk Pod Show. These shows are produced and managed by podtalk.co.uk. I'm Mark Mason.
And I'm Susanna Hornby. Christmas Part 3 includes From Suffolk with Love, Timothy Paul Cars, Stonham Barnes Park, Hedgehog Plants and Wild Play Limited.
We start with Vicky Harris, who owns From Suffolk with Love. Vicky has created a truly planet-loving gift box experience for her customers. Get ready to hear about the Winter Bliss box and the Cozy box, perfect for a little Christmas indulgence with a conscience.
And here she is, it's Vicky from Suffolk with Love. Hi, Vicky.
Hello, Susanna.
It's lovely to have you here. You do what I think are just the perfect thing for yourself and for lots of Suffolk businesses. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But tell us what you do.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I put together Planet Conscious, which basically means plastic-free gift boxes, hoping to kind of spoil the people that you love. Everything that is in the boxes, I've sourced from small businesses in Suffolk. So all my items are handmade here in the county. All really lovely little items, kind of make people smile.
And they're perfect little gift boxes, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think I kind of put them together in mind of like, oh yeah, I'd really like to have something like this myself.
Yeah.
So hopefully other people will feel the same.
I think they do. I think everyone needs a bit of spoiling at the moment. Really, we do. We definitely do.
Yeah.
Where did the idea come from?
So I think the last kind of few years I've been trying to be a bit more plastic conscious, especially around Christmas time. And last year I was trying to do all of my Christmas shopping plastic free. I was looking for something for my sister especially, just some nice little bits in a box together, not just kind of one single thing. And I just couldn't really find anything suitable, that wasn't kind of a toiletry set, like, deodorant and toothbrush kind of thing, which, I don't think is a lovely gift particularly, although very useful. So I kind of started putting something together for myself and just sent that off to her, and didn't really think much of it again until we went into lockdown this year. And I was trying to send a few little bits to people, kind of, especially in London. I had a couple of friends that are school teachers and needed a little pick-me-up. I couldn't really find anything. Again, I wanted to send them that really said how I felt and spoil yourself kind of thing, give yourself a treat, make yourself feel better. So it really came from that. And I kind of mulled on the idea for a few weeks, and looking at small business pages on the internet that were saying, please help us during the lockdown, I kind of thought to myself, well, this is what, the sort of people I need to use in the boxes, because all these lovely little handmade things in Suffolk are just so lovely and probably not as well known as they should be. So it kind of all came together from there. And after a few weeks, I kind of got the courage to say to my husband, this is what I want to do. And he said, oh, that's a brilliant idea. Why don't you call it From Suffolk with Love? So I was like, yeah, perfect. And that was that.
And so you from making the box for your sister, who I suppose absolutely loved what was in it.
Oh, well, I hope so, yeah. She said she did.
And so you just started, and you, as you said, you just reached out to lots of small businesses who are making beautiful planet-friendly things.
Yeah, basically, I was already using a couple of them for myself, and so it kind of stemmed from there. When I kind of started researching and got looking around, I found that so many brilliant people that we've got such a wealth of creative talent in this county that unless you kind of really look for it, you may not be finding it.
No, I agree, and I think the more we can promote and the more we can do what you're doing, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I know you started off with the Bliss box and a Calm box, which I think they pretty much speak for themselves. But what are you doing specifically for Christmas?
So for Christmas specifically, I've got 4 or 5 different boxes actually, but the Bliss box is super popular for birthdays and that sort of thing, and for thank yous. So I've done kind of a winter version of that, which has got a really nice body sponge in, which is made from like recycled vintage material, which is just lovely. Kind of, it's so lovely you kind of don't want to use it. It's got some soap in, a bath bomb, and a little Christmas decoration that's a robin, a little ceramic one, which is really, really sweet. And of course, some chocolate. I've got some Harris and James Adnams Cobb House gin chocolate in that box.
That sounds
in particular. So, yeah,
quite exciting.
So a lovely little bundle for someone. And a really popular one has also been the cozy box, which is a lovely little treat for those chilly nights and chilly mornings. And we've got really lovely woolen pair of fingerless mittens in, which are super cozy. I use them in the morning on the school run, and they're lovely. It's got like a little candle to light. It's got some bedtime brew tea to wind you down in the evening. It's got a little journal that you can write in, and of course I have some chocolate in there too, because chocolate is just the ultimate treat for me.
I think it is for most of us, and I think and it's comforting.
It certainly is, especially in the winter months, isn't it?
Very much so. Now I want to just talk about the plastic-free thing again, because all your packaging and boxing is all biodegradable.
Yeah, it's all
recycled.
All recycled. Yeah, so they have tins in there that you can use again, or things that they're wrapped in, or that can just be put in your compost basically and break down. Even down to my bubble wrap is paper as well, or cardboard. So to keep everything in, it's in a like a paper bubble wrap. And I purposely kept the packaging really simple because I don't want to contribute to more waste. I want to try and prevent it. That's my little son in the background.
It's fine. Hello.
So it's basically it's a lovely small little box. It's just simple and reusable, and everything is wrapped in a lovely little sheet of tissue paper just to give it a lovely look. And it comes with a thank you card and a message card, which really looks really nice, I think. And it's quite simple, but I like to think of it as perfectly simple. The really lovely thing about it is that it's not just me doing a happy dance each time I sell a box. That there's 4 or 5 other little businesses as well around Suffolk that are doing the same thing.
And I think that is absolutely wonderful for everybody, for all of us. It's what we're all trying to do, support each other at this time.
Absolutely.
And always.
That's all we can do.
Yeah, exactly. Now, where do we buy the gift boxes?
Okay, so I have a website, which is for suffolkwithlove.co.uk. I'm mostly active on Instagram, and you can find me at from.suffolkwithlove. I'm also on Facebook a little bit, and that is at From Suffolk With Love Co. Okay,
so everybody go follow her, because we think it's a lovely business, and we wish you all the luck this Christmas. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks so much, Sam. I'm so appreciative of you doing this for me, and it's really lovely to speak to you.
Now we've got Tim from Timothy Paul Cars. Tim introduces us to his recently launched family car business and tells us about his passion for great cars and how he's channeled his 21 years of car knowledge into creating a quality and personal experience for car buyers. Who wants a car for Christmas?
And a very warm welcome to Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be talking to you. And we absolutely adore what you do, and your website is superb. But
Thank you.
Like we always want to know is we'd love to know a little bit about you and your wife Sophie.
Okay. Yes. Well, I was working in the motor trade for the last 24 years, working in main dealers, selling cars, and I sort of got to the position of management. So I ran a local car dealership in Ipswich. And 19 years ago, someone walked onto our forecourt who ended up becoming my wife. She was looking for a car and found a future husband.
Wow.
So, yeah. There's more to the story as well. In that I had two salespeople that were chatting away in the showroom, and this blonde goddess walked up the forecourt, and I thought, oh, look at those two guys. They're not talking to our customers. I'm going to go and talk to that customer and sell her a car and teach them a lesson. And yeah, I ended up marrying her. So
well, that's just brilliant, and thank goodness they weren't very good at their jobs, because otherwise you might not have met her.
They were great guys.
Yeah.
I'm still friends with one of them, and we still laugh about it now.
Well, it was meant to be then.
It was all good fun, to be fair. Yeah, but I ended up the winner.
Good, very good. So this year things have changed a bit for you.
Yes, they have. In July of this year, I was made redundant from my 21-year job. And so we had to sort of start thinking differently about, well, what could we do, or what could I do more specifically? And so with that, we went out for a drive to the beach one day, had a cup of tea on the beach, and thought, well, I loved selling cars when I was selling them, and we met for our love of cars. And so, why don't I have a look at selling cars from home? So a couple of my ex-colleagues had done the same thing, so I got in touch with them, and yeah, so we started selling cars from home. It's not a complete change, because, as I say, I've been in the motor trade for 20 odd years. So, but selling them from home instead of a great big dealership with 75 plus people working in it is quite different.
No, I can imagine, and all of those skills are honed into just specifically doing what you're doing, Tim, with Sophie. We mentioned your website earlier. It's so fantastic. Most car websites, as far as I've ever come across, selling cars, are fairly, straightforward blocks of cars and this, that, and the other. You tell a story on your website, and it's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got my wife to thank for that. She is the creative one of us, having done an art degree, and her love of art. So she loves technology and things like that. So the website is all her doing, and it was her vision. And yeah, she just wanted to make it something that wasn't all about the cars, but it's about the story about us and how we got into cars. So yeah, that she's tried to make it a bit more personal than just a car website. It's obviously why people go there, but I think from the cars that we've sold, we've sold them because of the personal story behind the vehicles as well. So yeah, I think the website is a great reflection on what it is that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and of you both. And it when you're buying a car, it's not like buying a packet of crisps. It's a very important money decision, and it just it feels completely different. It's a completely different buying experience from you, we can imagine. So I've got here, or Sophie's written here, cars to make you smile. But we want, which I think is lovely. But you specialise in minis.
Yeah, it's something. Sophie had a Mini for a couple of years ago, and she absolutely loved the car. And so when I was thinking about what kind of cars we could sell, I've been in a franchise dealership before, and it wasn't a Mini franchise. So my only experience was with Mini. But actually, having a look around, what I've realised is that they are built to a really good quality. And I know there's a BMW connection to Mini these days. And so you can have an older car that's still really good quality. And so, because Sophie loved them, and sort of that's where my experience of Mini came from, and having a look around and researching, then it's sort of like, oh yeah, actually maybe this is the area that we can specialise in. So we've gone down that route with Minis. The thing about the car that makes you smile is, over the years I've been asked by loads of people about, I don't know what car to buy, and what should I do about this? What colour shall I have? What's going to be worth most money in the 3 or 4 years when I sell it in the end, and things like that. And I've sort of always said to people, just buy a car that makes you smile, because if the car makes you smile, then you don't resent, if you pay for it monthly on a finance agreement, you then don't regret the monthly payments that you've got. You don't resent the payments. Because if you walk out of your front door in the morning and you see a car that makes you smile, kind of everything else doesn't matter. You've got that car that really makes you smile. So buying a car that makes you smile is really important for people, because you can get bogged down in some of the details of which car to have and try and make it very specific, and try and almost some people try and outplay the market and make sure that it's got as much value as possible at the other end when they come to sell it. But that game is very, very difficult to try and predict, because there's so many factors that go into that. So if for the interim period you just drive a car every day that makes you smile, almost the price is sort of irrelevant to a degree.
And your vehicles are really well priced.
Thank you. Yeah, so what we try to do is source the vehicles that are sort of low mileage, good examples of that particular vehicle. And rather than sort of buy a very high mileage car that's not been very well looked after and then spend a lot of money trying to make it into a good car, what I do is I handpick the cars that because of their condition and how they've been looked after by the previous owners. And it's funny, I sound a bit woo when I say this, but you can get into a car and you can just tell that it's been well looked after. Or adversely, you can get into a car and just tell that it hasn't been very well looked after. And if it's not been well looked after, then I move on and go for another vehicle. So, to some degree, you've got to kiss a lot of frogs. Let me say that again. You've got to kiss a lot of frogs to find the right car. But once you've found the right car, it's an easier car to sell. And funnily enough, throughout my years of being in the motor trade, if we've ever needed a car for ourselves, so if Sophie's ever had a car, the cars that we've bought for ourselves personally have always been those well looked after, low mileage cars that have got a good service history. And so they've served us well for our ownership, and then they've always been good sellers when we've then moved on to another vehicle. So just my history with those vehicles has always been a positive one. And so actually that's what I want to provide for other people as well. So by selecting good quality cars, just makes things a whole lot easier and better for everybody, really.
And I suppose if you're a first-time buyer, you're the exact you are the exact company to talk to.
Yeah, and a prime example is a car that I've just sold to somebody, a father buying the car for his daughter. It's her first vehicle, learning to drive. She's had a car that's very, very easy to drive, nice and light, sort of ticks all the boxes. And we were saying it was just the perfect car for this customer, because it was everything that he wanted for his daughter. And it was an older vehicle, but it had very low mileage on it. And with used cars, you can never, you can't guarantee that a car is never going to go wrong. But what you can do is try and reduce those risks as much as you can. So a low mileage, well-maintained car that when you get in it, you just feels like it's a good, well-loved car. Then you're just improving your chances, I suppose, with the vehicle. Even my mechanic, who I take it to do all the work on it, even his wife, when I went to collect the vehicle, said, "Cool, that's a lovely car, that is." So even she sort of picked up on this car being nice. And I don't think she'd even been in it. I think she was just no, she had actually. She'd moved it into the workshop for the mechanic, and she'd noticed that it was a good car as well. In just 10 yards of driving it.
Yeah, we've had a look at your website. You've got all of the minis I love. There's a particular one, the black GT. Is it GT?
Yeah, Cooper S. The convertible.
So I'm looking at Mark saying, you could easily put a ribbon around that for Christmas for me. Thank you very much.
I'm happy to oblige.
Right, let's tell everyone, what's your website?
Our website is timothypaulcars.com.
And at the moment, we can't come and see you, can we?
No, I can do viewings by appointment. So yeah, it's by appointment only at the moment. COVID compliant, and we can do sort of a click and collect service so that it's touchless experience sort of thing.
Well, I think I can't say to more people, go and have a look at the website. It is, like I said, original, unique, rather you are exactly the sort of company you would like to buy your car from, because it feels
Thank you. Yep.
safe, and you definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All those years in the motor trade weren't wasted, thankfully.
No, they definitely are not. Thank you so much, Tim, for spending some time with us. I do hope
Likewise,
you have.
Thank you.
Oh no, it's a pleasure, and we hope that we wish you all the best with your business, and we wish you a happy Christmas.
Great. Thank you ever so much, and yeah, Merry Christmas to you. That's the first one for this year.
Hooray! All right, take care. Bye bye.
A Merry Christmas from the Suffolk Pod Show.
Now we have David Sandpell from Stonham Barnes Park. He talks about the fantastic facilities at Stonham Barnes. It really is the ultimate Christmas experience for family and friends. And there's new news of the Christmas craft market, so listen in. David, thanks for joining us. We are really excited to find out about Stonham Barnes Park because it seems to grow every year into something even more special. Tell us about it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the current owner, Alan Forward, purchased it back in 2011, where really it was just a sort of a muddy patch with a couple of small buildings on here. And over the last 9 years, he's just absolutely just transformed it into what it is today and what it is going forward, which is a retail village, lots of attractions for the whole of the family here. Retail shops, bistro, children's play areas, birds prey, teapot pottery, and also we have the large showground as well, which we put on up to 40 events a year under normal circumstances. Everything from car shows right the way through to antiques fairs, music festivals. The array is amazing what we can do here.
I mean, it is, well, it's a destination, isn't it, basically? Is it one of the biggest destinations for the family in Suffolk, I suppose?
It is, absolutely. And it is becoming bigger as well. The plans over the next couple of years are to develop the site even further, to have enough room to bring many more campers on site, both touring, people staying either or just visiting for the day. So the plans are immense. We've got facilities to hold weddings, wedding receptions. We're actually licensed to do the ceremonies here as well. So we can offer the full works as far as weddings are concerned, because we've got accommodation on site as well with the static units and also the holiday homes.
Lovely, amazing. And you have lakes too.
Yes, yeah, we do. We have, at the moment, we've got 2 fine lakes, very well stocked with fish, that are constantly busy. Every peg is pretty much taken whenever it can be. They have fishing matches every week. We've got 2 new lakes that are being built at the moment, and they're just setting a glorious surrounding as well. We have our holiday home lodges that are placed around the lakes, the 2 that we have at the moment, with the plans being on the 2 new lakes as well, to have the lodges around there that are people's holiday homes. They can come and visit. We're on an 11-month season here, which is probably the closest you can get to sort of all year round. So people just come, and there's so much to do here as well that we get so many people come up and they use their lodges constantly. So it's a really good destination for the whole family, whether or not they're coming for a single day visit or whether or not they're coming up to stay for a holiday break. There's something to do every single day here. So it's just. As I say, it's just getting bigger and bigger every year. Everything that Mr. Forward makes from the place, he just ploughs back into it again to do it. We've got the theatre here now as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
We've got a full theatre, proper set-up theatre. And we've got 3 big conference rooms as well that we can use for anything from, as I said, wedding ceremonies to conferences to indoor events. with full bar, full licensed bar facilities and full catering kitchen, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say you are perfectly placed in the centre of Suffolk too.
Yes, absolutely. Just off the A12, A14, so not far from those at all. We're on the tourist route as well, so people tend to come past. From our social media site as well, all our retailers, everything that's going on here is either on our main website or it's on the retailers have all got their own individual websites, but we manage it all for them as well. So it's all part of their sort of rental agreement and things like that. So and then obviously we got the events as well, which unfortunately this year been few and far between. But we're just planning on putting together a fantastic calendar of events for next year. As I say, everything from car shows, bike shows, antiques fairs, music festivals. We have things like History Alive with the reenactments, truck shows. It's just immense. I mean, there's literally there'll be something for anyone to do every weekend. And then sort of from March till about this time, I think we've just stopped now. We have a car boot every Sunday as well, boot sale every Sunday, and that's always so well attended. It's amazing how many people get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to come to a car boot sale.
Find that bargain. Find it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's such a professional setup, the whole thing, an exciting place to go as a family or as an individual. You're probably closed at this moment, but we're hoping we can all open again on December the 2nd. And you will be having your amazing Christmas craft market. We will, indeed. We were initially having it on the 28th and 29th of November, obviously with the current restrictions and lockdown that came in, rather than cancelling it completely, because we had so much interest for it. What we've decided to do is to put it off until the 5th and 6th, which hopefully will be outside of the lockdown. And we'll still be able to hold the event. But we've got over 50 traders already booked in, and now we've been advertising that we've moved the dates, so now we're getting even more people. We've got music, Santa's Grotto, food outlets, so it's gonna be an amazing craft fair. It's going to be fantastic, and it always is. It seems to be one of the big shows that we have every year here. We get lots and lots of people come to it, and we're hoping that people will come out to it. We're going to stay COVID secure. We've got all the sanitising stations. We've got all the restrictions that need to be in place to make sure everyone's kept safe, socially distanced, which has been a challenge, but it's been a learning curve as well. So. So we're confident. We've got the backing of the local council as well. We've run everything by them, kept in constant contact with them with all the events that we've planned or wanted to do, and they've been happy with our risk assessments and method statements to make sure that we're doing it to the best that we can to make sure everyone's kept safe. So unless the government tells us we can't do it, we will be doing it. So it'll be fantastic. Well, we're crossing our fingers for that. Now, I see you have Breeze Red Wine. Yes. She is someone that she's a local singer that has been around for a few years. She's only 18 years old now. She's been singing since she was sort of semi-professionally since she was about 13. And it's something that Stonham Barnes has got right behind. Was Mr. Alan Forward, the owner, has decided that we're going to promote her and help her to hopefully have a fantastic career going forward. So Stonham Barnes is helping her with getting together with some of the big music industry people to try and get her to see where she can go. It's a very difficult thing to do, but everyone has confidence in her. She's got a fantastic voice. She's going to be singing live for us at our Christmas fair, all being well, as far as the fair going ahead. And then we've also got the release of her first single is due out on the 8th of December as well. So we're all sort of gearing up for that as well at the moment. Okay, well, we must follow that. In fact, please, we'll invite her onto the Suffolk Pod Show. We'd love to talk to her.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, that's the deal then. Okay, and can we talk a bit about the Errol McKellar Foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is something that Stonham Barnes and Mr. Alan Ford has got behind 100%. Fantastic guy. We've had lots of meetings with him. He survived prostate cancer 10 years ago, and he's just been honoured with an MBE as well. But basically, he started by having an MOT garage, and he started saying to people, "Look, you MOT your car every year. You should be MOTing your body as well every year. So go and have a test. It's not, as people have always thought, it's not as intrusive as people think nowadays. It's simply a blood test in the first instance. It takes 5 minutes, and it could save your life."
Yeah.
So they reckon that he's probably, with the word that he's got out there, he's probably managed to get out to over a million men to be able to go and get the test and try and sort themselves out. So as I say, he's been honoured in the Queen's list for this year. He's been on numerous TV shows, and he's been honoured with lots of different things. And it's something that Stonham Barnes is very keen to be involved with.
Yeah.
So again, we've got a fantastic PR team behind us. So we're using them to help with some rebranding, getting the name back out there. We're arranging a couple of charity events next year as well to raise money for the foundation as well. So and Errol goes round. He spends his time now touring around the country and just speaking to groups and just and support groups, just explaining and getting the word out there. And I think obviously his idea is just to make sure that it becomes something that is just done on an annual basis.
Well, I mean, kudos to Mr. McKellar, quite frankly. That's there are some people who turn their lives around and they do that. And yes, absolutely right. We should support them in every single way we possibly can.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, back to the Christmas market. You said it was on the 5th and the 6th of December. What's your website address?
www.stonhambarnes, STOHAMBARNS.co.uk. All the details of everything that we've got on at Stonham Barnes, all the retail shops, all the attractions that we have here. There's full details of the Christmas craft market on there as well. If there's people that still want to try and book in, we've got inside stalls and outside stalls still available. So they can book up through there.
Lovely.
Or they can just send an email through to events@stonhambarnes.co.uk.
Okay. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. That was extremely informative. I presume it's free to attend the actual event.
The event is free, and car parking is free on site as well.
Brilliant.
So plenty of room for that. Running from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. each day. As I say, plenty of things going on for the fair, including the all-important mince pies and the mulled wine, of course.
Sold to the Suffolk Pod Show. Thank you. Listen, David, thank you so much for joining us. We now know what we're going to be doing on the 5th and 6th of December. Good luck with it all. Fingers crossed that everything lifts off from lockdown. And thank you very much for joining us.
No problem at all. Can I just wish everyone a Merry Christmas? Thank you very much for having me on the show. Much appreciated, and it's been great talking to you. And just if I can, just to take a moment, I just wanted to say thank you to all the retailers and all the staff and the management here at Stonham Barnes that have been so understanding through the last sort of 12 months or coming up to 12 months. It's been so difficult. They've worked tirelessly to make sure that the site has stayed active as much as we can, made sure that we've conformed to all the COVID restrictions so we could be open when we can be open. And without all their help and everything, I don't think we would be in such a good position as we are now.
Well put. Thank you, David. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Merry Christmas from the Suffolk Pod Show.
Gardeners and plant lovers, this one is for you. It's Jay McWilliams, co-owner of Hedgehog Plants, giving us some advice on the best plants for indoors and outdoors during the festive season.
And here she is, Jay McWilliams. Hello, Jay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
Yep, extremely well. We both are. Thank you very much. Really pleased to be talking to you because I think you're one of the few businesses we've able to talk to who's actually still remaining open at the moment.
Yes, we were very surprised and grateful to be allowed to be open. So.
what I want to do is, obviously I'm really interested in hearing about what you specialise in, because you do, and it's fascinating, and I don't know that much about it, so I'm looking forward to being educated. But can we start off, how did you start running the business with your husband?
Completely by accident. We were doing gardening for sort of local people, and there was a plant centre that we used to go in, and I'd always be telling them your plants look terrible, water your plants, or this needs deadheading. And one day they said, well, if you think you can do better, be our guest. So we did.
Wow. And you were all you were in different jobs at the time, I assume.
Yeah. I've had various jobs, but I spent most of my time sort of gazing out the window, wanting to be outside. So. Right.
So a little bit of a dream come true. So when was this?
It's nearly 15 years ago now.
Ah, okay. Whereabouts are you, actually? You're in Risby, aren't you? Is that right?
We're in Risby. We've been in Risby for the past 5 years now.
Yeah, super. And like you said, you're still open. Now, let's talk about what's special about you, because I know, as you've just said, you're very particular about your plants, but you do offer a very unique offering of plants. Tell us a little bit about what we can find in your nurseries.
Okay. Well, we specialise in shrubs and shade lovers. Epimediums in particular are a huge love of mine. They're completely addictive, and they're beautiful little woodlanders. But we do have other plants as well, sun lovers, etc. But we only tend to grow the plants we like. If we've had to spend too long digging them out of a garden, we don't grow them.
And particularly with the shade lovers, is this where the hedgehog word comes from, or is that something just completely irrelevant to the whole operation?
Oh, no, there's a bit of a tale there.
Come on then, let's have it.
When we first started, we were trying to think of a name that was a bit more interesting than, garden services. And we had a family meeting. And at the time, our 2 sons were quite young. And after 2 hours, the only thing that we could all agree on was that we liked hedgehogs. So...
Okay.
Hence the name.
Well, and it's a lovely name, actually, because it conjures up all sorts of lovely cozy images and makes it very welcoming. So with the shade loving shrubs, these are outdoor shrubs, obviously. Can you give us a few that are particularly good, perhaps for this time of the year?
Oh, there is a beautiful Chinese shrub called Stachyurus chinensis, which not only has stunning autumn colours, it's all shades of peach and red and gold and everything, but it also flowers in winter, and it gets these long racemes of sort of creamy yellow scented flowers. It's absolutely beautiful, but you don't see it very often, and yet it's bone hardy, and it's just a gorgeous shrub.
Yeah, and so it goes well in our Suffolk soil.
It does, absolutely. We've got it in our garden, and it's been here for years. It's no problems. You don't even have to prune it.
Wow.
You just let it do its thing.
That sounds like the plant for me. And houseplants. I mean, I know you do a large array of houseplants, but what particularly at this time of the year, building up to Christmas, what is a favourite to have in the house?
Oh, I think most people like a Schlumberger, or as it's more commonly known, the Christmas cactus. They come in all sorts of shades now, not just the sort of pink that everybody knew when they were growing up.
And what about poinsettias? Because you see them everywhere. Are they a good houseplant?
They're actually a lot fussier than people think. Because you see them everywhere, everybody tends to think they're really easy. And they're not. They're a bit of a prima donna. They don't like drafts. They don't like full sun. They don't like central heating. They're good for sort of, if you buy them, a couple of days before Christmas, and they'll look good through the Christmas season. But it's very few people that can keep them longer than that. Although in the wild, where they come from, they'll get up to 20 foot tall.
Wow. It's the time of the year, and Christmas trees, you're selling them.
Yes, we will be. We'll have both the traditional Norway spruce and the Nordmans, that sort of people like to think of non-drop.
And what's all sizes?
All sizes. We've even got some pot-grown ones as well.
Ah, perfect for smaller rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
And they go on and on and on, those. I always used to have a potted Christmas tree, but then people used to ask me why I had it in June, because there was still a bit of tinsel on it. I love the time of the year. Can we click and collect buy Christmas trees from you when the time comes?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Okay, so you're selling them online as well as in the nursery?
It's a bit difficult to do them online. Our website isn't really a web shop. You sort of have to have a look at the website and then email us with what you'd like.
Okay, well, that's easy enough, yeah.
Yeah, but people sort of quite often call up and sort of want to book a Christmas tree and then sort of come and collect, which is not a problem. And we can sort of, if people are shielding, that's also not an issue. We can do sort of whole contactless things. So.
Okay, so what about for Christmas gifts? Particularly, we wanted to talk about if you were to give someone something really special for Christmas, what would you recommend?
Oh, I've got it's a houseplant and it's called a Calathea rosea picta Rosie. And it is beautiful. It has these big glossy leaves with the pink markings in the centre. It almost looks like the whole plant is blushing. It's really, really pretty.
Oh, beautiful. And it is pink, you say?
Yes, pink and green.
Lovely. How beautiful. Will you be selling holly and mistletoe and all of the other sort of paraphernalia that goes with our Christmas decorating?
Some of it. We will be selling wreaths. I'll start making the wreaths within the next week or so. But we try to do wreaths that are more natural. We don't do the ones with the plastic flowers on or glitter or anything like that because they're bad for the environment. So, yeah, our wreaths are really quite popular, actually.
I'm not surprised.
I can barely keep up sometimes.
It is that busy time of the year. But I just wanted to ask you, because I did see somewhere that you actually had the BBC turning up at your nurseries.
We were filmed for Gardener's World because we were doing the RHS Malvern show for the first time. And they rang us up and asked if they could come. And I didn't believe them.
No.
No, I thought it was a bit of a wind-up, to be honest. So, this poor producer ended up coming all the way from Bristol just to convince me that, yes, they were the BBC and, yes, they wanted to film us.
How wonderful.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. Very interesting.
And have you ever got involved with the Chelsea show?
No, we really just started with the RHS because we're only very small. It's myself, my husband, Simon, and our eldest son part-time. We did Hampton Court, which is the world's biggest flower show, which we were really chuffed to do. But it's an awful lot of strain for a small nursery.
I'm sure it must be, because the preparation and from the beginning of the growing through to even from the creation of the design right through. And then you still need to be a functional nursery at the same time.
Absolutely, we do. Yes.
But we will enjoy our Christmases, and we will have plenty of things to be able to get our hands on, including your Christmas trees and your wreaths and that beautiful houseplant, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce again, but it sounds absolutely gorgeous. Can you tell us what your website is?
Right, it's www.theinterestingplantnursery.co.uk.
Okay, and your opening hours?
10 a.m. till 4 p.m, apart from Mondays.
And we can call you, of course, and we can find you, and we can follow you on Twitter and on Instagram and all the other social media. And remind us of the date that you're going to start having those Christmas trees available.
They should be available from next Tuesday, whatever the date is then. Sorry.
No idea, because in lockdown, dates don't seem to be so important. Mark's just told me it's the 17th of November.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Listen, Jay, thank you so much. Short but very informative, and I'm looking forward to getting our Christmas tree probably from you. Thank you, Jay. We send our very best wishes to you and your family, and we wish you a very happy Christmas.
Thank you. And big thanks from us. Nice to sort of talk to you, and happy Christmas to you guys too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Last up is Heidi Franklin, co-founder of Wild Play Limited. Heidi is always promoting the great outdoors and invites family and friends to take a breath of fresh air this Christmas. She set up a really clever online make-your-own Christmas wreath this year. Listen in to get creative with her.
And actually, welcome back to the wonderful Heidi. Hello, Heidi. How are you?
Hi, Susanna. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, we're all good here. Thank you very much. Slightly different times. How are you coping?
Yeah, all right. It's been a bit of a whirlwind few weeks. Let's not pretend. It's not been easy, and I think we certainly had a week of not knowing where we stood with things and whether we were going to be able to operate, whether we couldn't, what we can and can't do. But you know what? It's the same for everybody right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But you are the ever adaptable team, you guys. Tell me what you're doing with your Christmas wreath classes.
Yes. So we were due to be having 2 weekends full of Christmas wreath making workshops in our woodland. Obviously, we can't do that now at the end of November. So we are producing kits for everybody, really beautiful bespoke kits, supporting 3 other local businesses as well at the same time. And we will either be delivering them or people can come and collect them from us. And we're also doing a bespoke production film on how to produce the wreath. And we're having a live Zoom get together with all those people who are joining us as well. So we've got a few spaces available, but we're just being adaptable. We're just being flexible.
No, you are, as ever. It is all you can do. And you have to think so quickly on your feet and be so flexible.
You do have to think quickly. And it's a bit of a stock phrase, isn't it, about being agile, but it is so true right now. And you just have to, the amount of hard work that goes on behind the scenes at the moment is tremendous. But we are determined to still provide a service for people, even in these really tricky few weeks that lay ahead, because that's what we're about, really. We're all about helping people, supporting people, community. It's what our business is, and we have to carry on with that.
It's important to be outside as much as possible during lockdown, but when we can open up, and let's hope we go back into a tier 1 scenario, we can come back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the moment, some of our sessions can run. So anything to do with education for us is still running at the moment, which is really helpful. But let's assume and hope that beginning of December, we can get back into our tier 1 level. And we'll be doing some Christmas cookouts in December, which will be amazing, using the woody fire pit. And, we're just going to be pressing forward, really, and moving into the new year. Yeah.
No, I know. And over the Christmas week or 2 weeks, as I always think of it, you are such an ambassador of the great outdoors. It is important for us to get as much light and as much sunshine as we can during those quite closed 2 weeks.
Yes, it will be. And I think ordinarily over Christmas time, people do sort of shut themselves away. But, after a few days, people do get cabin fever a little bit. The kids need to get outside. Everybody's had enough of wrapping paper and Christmas crackers. And I think it's going to be more imperative this year to get outdoors. And you're right, getting that dose of vitamin D with the daylight hours that we've got, wrap up warm and just get some fresh air in your lungs is going to be crucial this year.
No, well said. Can we talk about Wild Connections?
Yes, of course. So Wild Connections is a part of Wild Play in which we support local small businesses. It's a community that we built through our Instagram page initially at the start of lockdown number 1. And it's amazing. The amount of hidden talent that lies behind these Instagram accounts is phenomenal. And right now, more than ever before, people really genuinely need to support small businesses. So it's amazing, actually. And I would encourage anybody who's interested in the whole small business thing to jump onto our Wild Connections page and just have a look. Follow our stories. It's our stories, which is where we really promote people, and just look at those accounts that follow us. There's so many. It's amazing. Love it to bits.
No, we love it too, and we follow it obviously too. Heidi, thank you for joining us. This is just a quickie, as you know. Can you let everyone know what your website is, please?
Yes, it's wildplayltd.co.uk.
Brilliant. We will talk again, no doubt. But if we don't, Mark and I would like to wish you a very happy Christmas.
And to you as well. Take care, guys.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Christmas Suffolk Pod Show. We hope you enjoyed listening, and don't forget to look out for more Christmas editions.
If you'd like to be involved in any of our shows, or you're interested in setting up your own podcast series, please just get in touch. We offer a wide range of podcast services. Just visit podtalk.co.uk. Thanks for listening to the Suffolk Pod Show. Find us on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, or you can visit our website, podtalk.co.uk. And here's our disclaimer.
The Suffolk Pod Show will not be held responsible for any omissions or errors in its podcast.
The Suffolk Pod Show is produced purely for entertainment purposes. Views and opinions are that of our own or that of our guests.